Hello, this is Mr. Lee, live. Well, not really live, because I'm gonna be uploading this audio to my channel. Yeah, it's not live. Um, but yeah, this is my first time doing this kind of thing. I'm a huge fan of Funky. If you know a Funky Diabetic, he's a YouTuber that does NBA commentary. Yes, I'm an NBA fan. So yeah, I am essentially stealing his style, his trademark style of just talking and having like a picture as a video. Yeah, so okay, anyways. I just watched Wonder Woman 1984. Well, by just watched I really mean I watched it a few days ago and now I'm doing this audio thing. Jeez, what a fucking mess. That movie is insane. You guys would not believe. It is batshit crazy. I'm not lying to you. First of all, it's 2.5 hours. When I saw the runtime, I was really, really surprised because that's not really the superhero thing to do unless you're Christopher Nolan and you're doing The Dark Knight. But yeah, besides that, movies don't... Well, I mean, Avengers Endgame too, but like, this is just Wonder Woman 1984. I did not think it was going to go that long. So, yeah, for the runtime to be so long, I was hoping that it wouldn't bore me. I'm happy to say it didn't bore me. But there were plenty of things that just left my mouth hanging open. Well, for starters, actually, yeah, I have a list of bullet points right here that I want to, sort of go through one by one. First of all, Pedro Pascal. Oh my goodness. That man delivered an insanely incredible performance. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so if you didn't hear, he pretty much overacted the hell out of his role. He plays the villain, or one of the villains. And yeah, what else can I say besides it's almost Shakespearean, his performance. It's almost Shakespearean. It's so good. It's so good. He is one of the best parts of the film, easily, and by far too. Yeah, and I guess that sort of branches out to a broader category of characters and acting, because the next topic I was going to dive into is Kristen Wiig's character. She plays this character named Barbara Minerva, who ends up becoming Cheetah. And her character is so unoriginal because we've seen that sort of character before in, for example, Electro, Jamie Foxx's Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And another thing that I really didn't like about Kristen Wiig's character is just how dumb it was. It's like, I don't know, it just felt so simplistic. I really wish that she was more layered than just, oh, I'm sick of being unpopular, so I'm gonna wish to be popular. It's like, people aren't that simple. People are way more complicated than that. They're not just like, oh, I want to be more popular. No, come on. And obviously I know this is a DC superhero movie, but I just didn't buy into that. So, and I feel like this movie kind of wants you to feel sorry for Cheetah. Well, I mean, kind of, not really, but like, it establishes a background, a background that it tries to be reasonable, Kristen Wiig's character's transformation, they're trying to make it seem reasonable and justifiable, and nothing about it seemed justifiable at all, and that's what I'm really trying to say here, is that, I don't know, her character was just very superficial, and also very unoriginal, too. And I mean, we've seen that sort of character collapse in Amazing Spider-Man 2, because we know that Jamie Foxx's Electro is really stupid. Like, he becomes a bad guy for the dumbest reasons. So, yeah, this is no different. Now, on to the main leads. We have Chris Pine returning. And, yeah, Chris Pine's back. And Gal Gadot. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Gal Gadot. Okay, well, Gal Gadot is still Gal Gadot. She's not the greatest actress, but she's likable, I guess. She is likable. I don't know. Maybe it's just her pretty face. I don't know. I'm kidding. No, she's cool. She's cool. But she is not a good actress. Let's get that out of the way. She is not a good actress by any means. Yeah. Chris Pine, on the other hand, is fantastic. And one of the saving graces of this film, what am I saying? Of this film is the chemistry between Chris Pine's Steve and Gal Gadot's Diana. Yeah, they play off each other really well. You buy their love, their chemistry. It's good. And it's because of Chris Pine mainly. Because Chris Pine's such a cool guy, Yeah, but... yeah, that's all I really have to say about those two. I think Steve was... Whenever Steve was on screen, it's puts a smile on your face. He's a really cool guy. Yeah, their chemistry was good. As usual. But of course, what I found to be really dumb was that this movie was essentially written just so they could have Steve back, because Steve was such a beloved character from the first movie. Which is kind of dumb, to be honest, because, isn't the main character here supposed to be Diana? Like, what happened, guys? At the same time, I understand why fans want Steve back, But it's the same thing, it's comparable to, wanting The Office to be reignited, or to be restarted. It's like, come on. All good things must come to an end. So, yeah. He didn't need to be back. It was nice that he was back, but he didn't need to be back. He really didn't need to. Now, another pointer that I had that I really wanted to go into was the CGI flying scene. Yeah, so, okay. Sorry, spoilers. Spoiler alert. Okay. After Diana renounces her wish and Steve ends up dying again for a second time. Oh my god. Yeah, she starts flying. It's one of the funniest things ever. She starts flying because, okay, so earlier in the movie, Steve is piloting a fighter jet with Diana as his passenger. And Diana's like, oh, the one thing that only defines you or something to Steve is flying. And then Steve's like, it's easy, just follow the wind or something like that, right? And so Diana just jumps in the air and uses her lasso to start flying all of a sudden. And what's really hilarious, okay, one thing that made it really funny was the horrible CGI. Oh my goodness. It was atrocious. It looked horrible. Isn't DC supposed to be a really rich company, or Warner Brothers, or whatever studio is funding money for this project? How can you guys not afford some decent visual effects supervisors? Come on. I've seen way better effects done with movies that have much smaller budgets. It's ridiculous. And another thing that to go back to the flying scene, what also made it incredibly hilarious was the fact that Adagio in D minor, the theme song from Sunshine, starts playing. I know. Wait, okay, so if you know the theme song, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know the feel of that song. They made that scene incredibly overdramatic. They overdramatized the hell out of that scene. It's so fun. When you're watching Gal Gadot fly in front of a CGI sky to the theme of Sunshine, dude, that's cinematic gold. That is cinema gold. That was one of my favorite scenes, because it was one of the worst scenes, easily. Yeah. Okay, well, I had another thing that I wanted to talk about, but really quickly, I really wanted to mention that one thing that I really respected that Patty Jenkins did in this movie was she filmed the movie on film. She used oh god, what's the name of the camera? Oh crap, I forgot the name of the camera, but oh man. Anyways, yeah, so she filmed it on film, so there's a grainy look to it that gives off a very heavy 80s vibe, which makes sense. The movie takes place during the 80s. Yeah, so even though the video quality and the cinematography were there simply for the gimmick rather than for any other artistic purpose, I still appreciated the gimmick. It's like, all right, cool, you're trying something new. You're taking new risks with this movie. That's fine. That's fine. Obviously, there are many other things that they should have focused on rather than just the gimmick of having the movie look like the 80s. But whatever. That's one good thing to take away from this. All right, now, one of the things that people have complained about a lot was the Egypt controversy. So, I already did a spoiler warning earlier, but again, spoiler warning. Although not really, it's kind of confusing. So, there's this scene where Pedro Pascal, he's Maxwell Lord, he has become the Dreamstone. He asks this Egyptian oil mogul, is that the correct way to say it? Oil mogul? Like, he asks this Egyptian oil mogul, what is your wish? And, like, this oil mogul says something, I completely forgot what he said, but it really pissed people off. Because apparently it reignited or touched upon or broached the debate between the Israelis and the Palestinians. It has something to do with that? Yeah, when I watched the movie, I did not understand what that guy was saying. So I apologize. If you think I'm ignorant, then I'm sorry. I do not know the history behind all of that, but yeah, apparently it did not sit well with people, and my response is just, I was really confused when he said that. I was like, okay, okay, you clearly want that thing that you just said. That's all I care about, really. I have no idea I have no idea of the implications of what you said. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But look, if it was genuinely offensive to people, then that is on the writers. Oh, that is the writers' fault for being incredibly political in a movie as lighthearted and as cheesy as this. But again, I'm very oblivious to that issue. Now, one thing that a lot of people have complained about is the overarching theme. Overarching? I don't know. The overarching theme of the film. And the ending really implies that it's not okay for someone to, or for anyone really, to desire any sort of change of any capacity. And when I watched the movie, well, okay, let me explain it better. By the end of the film, Maxwell Lord, the Dream Lord, the Dreamstone, Dream Lord, I'm trolling. The Dreamstone, he broadcasts himself to the entire world, and he asks them to make a wish. And yeah, if they make a wish, it'll come true, essentially, right? And sort of the moral of the story or of the film, or as the film implies, is that it is not okay to wish for something, because that wish will always have a consequence, and you just gotta, and it would be rejecting the truth. There you go. If you wish for something, you are rejecting the truth of your reality. That's what the movie was going for, essentially. Which, when I watched the film, I did not pick up on that, but I saw a Letterboxd user complain about that, and I was like, you're absolutely right. It's kind of fucked up, that theme. Look, I understand that some desires for change are backhanded. They have their own consequences. But this film implies that any sort of desire for change, anything, would be rejecting the truth. And that we should accept society, we should accept our lives, our world, for what it is. And that is something that a movie about female empowerment, especially, should not be. That's the theme that a movie about female empowerment should not be sending to children. I guess the writers failed in that they oversimplified the conflict a little too much. I don't think they were intending on saying, okay, be content with, with what you have, and don't advocate for any sort of change. I think they just messed up. It just, it went over their heads. I mean, it's easy to do so when you're writing a script for like a 2.5 hour film where you have to balance and juggle a lot of crazy bullshit. Yeah. Is there anything else that I need to go over? I don't think so. Yeah, that's it. That's Wonder Woman 1984. I mean, obviously, there's plenty more to see for yourself when you watch the movie, but generally speaking, the flaws of its predecessor were present here, and there were some other weird things that were also sprinkled in here that I've already discussed. That sort of made this movie an incredible mess, almost beautiful to be honest. I mean, I didn't think DC was capable of making a movie as insane as this. So, props to them for giving me 2.5 hours of a great laugh, So yeah. And in regards to this context or this style of delivering content to you, I actually really enjoyed this. I always, whenever I make a video, I always edit things out and I always cut things out, and whenever I mess up, I always cut it out. But here I can just be real. I can just speak my mind. I can just say whatever I want to say, be comfortable, be more relaxed, not feel as if I'm on stage talking to you all. This is more like it is a podcast sort of style, except it's just me. Yeah, so I don't think this will be the last time I'm doing this. Obviously, it would be better and more satisfying for you and for me to make a full-blown video. But, sometimes I won't have time to do that, but I still want to share my thoughts and ideas on a movie, so I guess I can do this. I mean, we've reached the 17-minute mark, which is not bad, obviously. Editing an entire video for me would normally take 10 hours. Literally 10 hours. Which I don't know if that's on me, if I'm too slow, or if I'm not being productive or efficient enough. But there's no use thinking about it. Just do it, So yeah. By now it's about a little over an hour until New Year's. So I hope you all have a happy New Year whenever you hear this. If you've made it by the end, at least. And yeah, happy New Year. Have fun. Stay safe. And obla di obla da.